Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Hey, dog.
Mothman has the ability to fly and predict bad events, so I'd give his abilities a 5 out of 10 since he doesn't do much.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Rex, when's the last time you cried?
Probably in like December.
Where do you listen your music?
What are you doing with that turkey, Dad?
Don't worry about it.
Millions of people listen to your podcast.
It's just crazy.
I love making music.
Hey, I think you're on the radio.
Huh, no kidding. My name is Daniel Montoya.
My name is Sarah Ratana.
And we at SpartanSound Productions are proud to bring you the very first episode of our radio show, ValleyVibeZ.
For our first episode, we want to talk about SpartanSound Productions and what we do.
Now, SpartanSound Productions is Central Union High's very own production studio. We work to make a ton of stuff. We work to make music, podcasts, radio shows like this one, commercials. You're likely going to see one later on in the program. And all of our manpower comes from students enrolled in audio production, like, me and Serenity here. Serenity, when did you first enroll in audio production?
The beginning of August last year.
And I was in audio production the entirety of last year, too. So, here in audio production, we really like to emphasize the student's role. There's a ton of creative liberty in the projects that we are allowed to do. We have, essentially, no direction in the best possible way. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I love doing my little podcast with my sister and her friends.
Right. And I enjoyed essentially having the freedom to record whatever the heck I wanted, whenever I wanted. It was great. We learned a lot. And a lot of this was done using Soundtrap, which is a freelance audio workstation, I believe. And it allows for students to learn the basics of audio production, which is helping a lot both here and likely is going to help outside of a school environment. So, Serenity, would you like to mention some of the work that you've done here?
I feel like I've been like tone deaf. I don't feel very I don't know how to say it, but I like it. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. I've been learning how to use different beats and actually create a song. What about you?
Well, a lot of the time I didn't really choose to venture too far out of my comfort zone when it came to music, but when it came to actually recording stuff, I was going nuts. Let's see. Here on the talking notes that I've organized, I mentioned that we're gonna plug the YouTube channel a bunch, and on there we have just a ton of the stuff that we produced. So a lot of our music comes from the assignments that we are assigned. And while you're free to only stick to the assignments, you're also equally as free to make whatever you want and submit it to Dr. Tacky, who is the head coordinator of SpartanSound Productions.
Have you had anything like posted on the YouTube channel?
I actually have had a few things. I think the very first podcast that I did to be submitted to NPR for the student-made podcast competition has been posted out there under the Great Hot Dog Debacle title. And there I discussed whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich or not for 8 minutes straight.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What type of music do you make?
It was mostly just messing around with the change rhythm feature, How much music have you made just outside of the school?
Outside of school, I don't think I've made a lot. It's mostly been podcasts.
Right. And what is the subject matter of the podcast mostly been about?
We talk about like monsters and stuff and like rate them.
Right. So I've heard. Yeah, okay. So when it comes to music, what would you say your main influences have been?
I don't know. I really like listening to other people's music that like students make from Dr. Tacky since he plays it around the classroom.
Right. Yeah. So What about podcasts? Any influences there?
I listened to one, and it was a whole fictional story about a girl going into trying to find out about these tapes. I don't know. I found it really cool.
So that inspired you to kind of talk about the supernatural?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, personally, the NPR competition thing was initially an assignment. But then Dr. Tacky had told me that maybe I would have a chance of actually winning, so I actually decided to put some more production effort into it. And it didn't even get so much as an honorable mention, because I was talking about whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich, for Christ's sake. But yeah, it's up there. I think it's all right. It's 8 minutes long. Longest 8 minutes of my life.
Why'd you pick hot dogs?
Well, it's a funny story. I was here at Central at about 6 a.m. for a zero period class. And I was bored out of my mind, so I decided to turn to one of my friends and I asked him, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I was already initially on the side of it is. And then when he started explaining his rationale for why it isn't, I started explaining my rationale for what it is. And this brewed over for about a year before I actually decided to record it.
I think I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah. Things got heated.
Really?
Yeah. At one point I actually made like a 30-minute PowerPoint discussing why a hot dog is a sandwich. Now granted, at least 25 of those minutes were spent insulting my friend, but still.
And for the music that you've produced, what was the main point of it? Why did you produce that music?
Well, really it was just me messing around with the many tools that Soundtrap provides for its students. Now, outside of our own experiences in SpartanSound Productions, we would like to interview Dr. Tacky, the head coordinator, about the origins of SpartanSound Productions. So stay tuned. And we're back. This is Daniel Montoya of ValleyVibeZ, and if you're just tuning in, we have just finished talking about our experiences in SpartanSound Productions, which is Central's very own production studio. And currently, we are sitting here with Dr. Tacky, who is the head of SpartanSound Productions. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Dr. Tom Tacky. I am the creator and director of SpartanSound Productions. Basically, SpartanSound Productions came out of a class that we offered. We put together electronic music in 2018, and the reason we put together an electronic music class was that, firstly, I mean, the Central has not enough elective classes for students. And I'd been teaching music appreciation for years and years, which is a really great class, but it didn't really allow students to have that hands-on experience with music like they would in the guitar classes or in choir or the Great Spartan Band or any of the other, performance-based classes. So I felt it was really important that we have this opportunity that students could become creative in making music and other audio products. So right from the get-go, I had students creating extremely creative and wonderful works, such as these that you hear right here, where they use some sampling techniques, combining things, using some of the pre-recorded loops that are contained within the DAW. Let's have a listen.
Okay now, how many of you have played musical instruments before?
Do instruments of torture count?
No.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Perfect.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Productions.
But this class went very, very well. We use a product called Soundtrap, which is a digital audio workstation that is fully online. It functions well on Chromebooks, whereas usually with audio classes, they have kind of a standalone laboratory that uses Macintosh computers. But with this situation, the students have access to all of their stuff, regardless of where they're at. It's a cloud-based digital audio workstation. And, what worked out really, really well on this was that during the pandemic, when everybody was at home, this class still continued to function extremely well because that's how it was designed. While other classes struggled with how are we going to get students to, engage, electronic music was completely ready to go. And and as you can hear here, here's one of the products that came out of that time. So after the pandemic, we came back face to face. We were putting the best of, so to speak, of our student creations up on a website. And that seemed like a good way to share, but there's some difficulty in getting traffic to the website, and it's just not the most friendly. And it just occurred to me that, that's what YouTube is for. And so we have a YouTube channel that we utilize for the best of our student creations. And it is right here.
The following is a special bulletin brought to you by SpartanSound Productions.
SpartanSound Productions is happy to inform you that we have an official YouTube channel. It is currently home to over 200 pieces of outstanding student-made works ranging from songs and raps to podcasts, with more uploaded every month. A few of these works have even won awards, such as the winners of the 2022 Soundtrap Creativity Challenge. Let's have a listen to them, why don't we?
Pedal to the metal, now I'm running from the J's. Running on the rest like I got no brakes. I've been running from the feds, now I got...
Turn it up.
You can find all of this and more on YouTube. Simply go to youtube.com and search @SpartanSound Productions. And if you like what you hear, we encourage you to subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated and would go a long way to getting our students the recognition they deserve. Again, go to youtube.com and search for @SpartanSound Productions. Be sure to subscribe.
So when we were creating the YouTube channel, that's when we created the idea of renaming ourselves as SpartanSound Productions, because kind of what we do is, we have these productions that we put out. We also have our live performances that we use a DJ council for, both on campus, off campus. Sometimes we'll even do some things for outside organizations. So, SpartanSound Productions has really grown from its inception, from that one class that we had in 2018 to 5 sections of the class in 2022. So on a daily basis, I see just a little over 150 students going through the room, creating just incredible pieces of work.
Right. And speaking of growth, I wanted to ask you about the future of SpartanSound Productions and where you plan to take it.
That's a great question. The future is the present. Here we are on the radio. This is something brand new for us. And, students are excited about putting this together. It's created new energy and new opportunities. You're going to be hearing us, on a weekly basis. Our podcasting stuff is going to expand as well. I foresee that we'll have quite a few more podcasts housed on the SpartanSound Productions YouTube channel on a more regular basis. I would also see that, we'll be doing more out in the communities. The productions that are the student music that's being created is getting better and better. And, we're hoping for that hit song.
Right. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Taggy. And to our listeners, we'll be back right after the break to talk about SpartanSound Productions' lunchtime performances, athletic contributions, and notable producers. Stay tuned. And we're back. You are currently listening to ValleyVibeZ, a radio show produced by SpartanSound Productions, Central Union High's very own production studio. If you're just tuning in, we've finished our interview with Dr. Taggy, who is the head of SpartanSound Productions, and we're back to talk about SpartanSound's contributions to Central and more, so stay tuned. So, here at Central, when SpartanSound Productions isn't actively producing music or podcasts or songs or anything else that we usually make, there's things called lunchtime performances, which it sounds exactly like what it is. We wheel out a DJ console, it's manned by students, we play songs by students, and it's generally just sort of meant to create the atmosphere of a good time. So, we got some input from Dr. Tacky, and he revealed to us that it was sort of a way to revive the culture at Central after the pandemic. It was dead, for lack of a better word. And us being the musical scientists that we are, figured that we can bring it back, So, Serenity, have you ever listened to the lunchtime performances, participated in them?
Yeah, I heard them, and my favorite song is probably the turkey one, the one that got,
Right.
Yeah.
I eat that turkey, I love macaroni. Mashed potatoes, you gotta show me. Pour out the gravy, yeah, you know me. It's time to grub, they told me. I love to eat on Thanksgiving. Me and my family, you know that we winning. Always thankful, I ain't ever tripping. Thank you for giving, that's just how we feeling.
And then I've also heard some pretty good ones from kids that were in my class, which surprised me about how well they were organized.
Yeah, no, that's the beauty of it, really. The fact that it's for students by students. So you'll hear songs from, your period, from other periods. It's fantastic. It's a good way of getting it out there. Yeah, and besides the lunchtime performances, SpartanSound Productions also helps support the athletics department by providing music for, sporting events. So during, say, a football game, you'll see us out there at the pregame, and we'll just be, providing music. Usually it's a playlist composed by both the DJs and the football players themselves. And, we play for the pregame, and we wheel everything back in when the Great Spartan Band comes out. So, we're kind of bench warmers in that regard.
In October 2022, we had 3 first-place awards given from the 2022 Soundtrap Creativity Challenge. This was a national competition of student Soundtrap users. The winners were
Anthony Soto in the freshman and sophomore vocal music division.
Turn it up.
co-champions Alfonso Castro and Adrian Aguilar in the junior-senior vocal division.
You always said I was the one and only for you. You always said I was the one and only for you.
Too far to keep it close. I wasn't ready before we met. Too far to keep it close. I wasn't ready before we met.
Wanna try to race, it don't matter now. I'm running from the J's, race like I got no break. I said I'm ready for the best, now I got to do the race. I can race, pass trying to find a better place. All that fit just to mention my Hellcat. Engine roaring like a big cat. Doing donuts, but you already know that. The winners really trying to see through that. Level 10, but this is no limo. Trying to play my cards right like it's blackjack. Wanna be a star, I chose my own path.
Also included in the accolades given to SpartanSound Productions were an honorable mention to the 2023 NPR Student Podcast Challenge. Male High School Athletes Don't Cry was selected as one of the runner-ups. I believe an honorable mention, actually. As of late, SpartanSound Productions was selected to be the exclusive providers of music for the California County School Superintendent Symposium to be held in Monterey in February. That is a mouthful.
Lastly, some of you may have heard Jingle D, a holiday rap, right here on Power 98, the week before Christmas. It also received airplay on Bumpin' 96.3 in Memphis, Tennessee.
Jingle bells, grand wishes like a wishing well. Jingle bells, don't be naughty, cause Santa can tell. Jingle bells, you know Santa got the intel. Jingle bells, Santa on the roof, and he almost fell. Fill up my stockings for the Christmas.
So, needless to say, we have a lot under our belts. Speaking of past notable producers, we're being joined by Erica Rodriguez, who was a graduate of Central in 2022, I believe. And we're back. You're currently listening to ValleyVibeZ, Central Union High's very own radio show, produced by SpartanSound Productions, right here in Central Union High School. We're currently joined by Erica Rodriguez, one of SpartanSound's most notable producers.
Hi, like I was kindly introduced, my name is Erica. I started when I was first introduced with the Spartan production. It was called electronic music, and it was during the COVID time where I was just looking at the electives, and I saw electronic music. I got curious. I decided to try the class, and it was awesome. I don't regret it.
Yeah, I've heard some of your stuff actually. In sort of the build up to this, and I thought it was actually really good.
Oh, thank you. A lot of my like songs were called Moz. It was because I remember specifically Dr. Taki. He was saying, go ahead and mess around with the sounds, and I was like, okay. I just started. The Moz is an abbreviation for messing around with sounds. So I just kept on titling every single one, Moz 1, Moz 2. I think I went up to like Moz 40 at one point.
Right. Well, half of audio production is just messing around with the sound until it, sounds good.
Yeah, true.
Right.
The songs that I produced were more like trap-ish, if...
Right.
I don't know which genre I did, but I think it was more trap-ish, more like I was either the dark trap or like a really gentle sounding type songs. I lost more than half of my songs because I didn't save them when I should have. But I do have like 4 of my like darkish trap ones saved on my phone. One of them being Moz 5, which I later titled Who Am I? It's like that is just basically because at the time I was really struggling with like being here in the Valley, just not knowing who I should be and what I should do with my life. And in the soundtrack, it starts with the clock and ends with the clock. And I made like lyrics with it. Never sang the vocals. But it was basically just like, who am I? I'm running out of time to figure out who I am because I'm already however old I am, and I'm just constantly running out of time. And this song was just all about that, and I don't know, I just really liked it.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I suppose if you enjoyed making it, that's really all that matters. Serenity, did you have any questions for Erica?
Yeah, which one would you consider your favorite?
Oh, I would honestly consider either my other song called Azagora, or Who Am I? But Azagora is like a song about like agoraphobia is a whole phobia based off of fear of abandonment or fear of being forgotten. And that whole song is just basically like a dark version of this fear. And I don't know, I just really liked it a lot. That I also made lyrics for it, but again, I never recorded for it. But Azagora and Who Am I are probably my 2 favorite tracks I made.
Right, and we actually have one of your songs here, Moz 5, Who Am I, as you mentioned, and we're actually going to give it a listen right now.
Okay, awesome.
It's a good intro you got here.
It's a fade in. I remember specifically trying to find a good like clock sound.
Right.
Couldn't find it. I had to manually like record my dad's clock ticking and put it in a way that synced up with the beats per minute.
I mean, that's actually one of the skills that we learned in the audio production.
Oh.
Learning to record our own sound effects. So good on you for doing that.
Yeah.
once again, I would really like to commend your work. I can definitely see why you were considered one of Dr. Tacky's best.
Thank you.
And I kind of wanted to segue into, sort of recording techniques that you used while you were still in audio production.
Literally my closet. So I was watching a music video, a YouTube video. It was actually The Game Theorist.
He actually retired yesterday.
I know, I saw that, and I was so devastated. But he was saying that like he was recording in his closet like with 9 pages of script. I was like, recording in your closet? So I went in my closet and I tried it out. I was like, the dead space is awesome. So when Dr. Tacky gave us a podcast assignment, I was like, oh my god, the closet. So I went in my closet because my house is loud. I have a younger brother. My sister's nodding her head. I have a loud younger brother who's turning 7 actually today. An annoying younger sister who barges in my room all the time.
For context, listeners, she's in the corner of the recording studio right now.
And my other 2 older sisters, not older, one older sister, another younger sister, they wouldn't be as loud, but they would like walk into my room out of nowhere. But I found that closet surrounded by clothes, cramped, but yeah, it was really good for recording. What's it called?
Audio,
yeah.
Right. And yeah, there's no shame in that really, because I also live in kind of a noisy house, and whenever I have to record something at my house, I usually do it at like 4 a.m. when it's absolutely dead, not a creature stirring, right? And just to deaden the noise even more, I would like tack up a comforter over my window, and then I would stuff a blanket underneath the door, and then shut the vent, and it still wouldn't be the best audio quality, but it was very serviceable. So, recording in a closet, that's definitely a good option. What about you, Serenity?
I just record in my room or outside.
Oh. Like, again, when I was in my closet, it was extremely cramped. I literally, like, had my knees to my chest, computer on my knees, so, like, I was face first in the screen. And it was, like, I was, like, struggling to manage the mouse pad, but...
Yeah. So, recording audio and producing music, how big of a role would you say that helped in getting you through the pandemic?
Oh, it helped a lot. Giving a little, like, context, I grew up, like, surrounded by producing music. My dad, he's gonna hate me saying this, but my dad, he was a rapper. He was a rapper. I don't know if he wants me to say his stage name. I'm not gonna say it. I have a merch shirt though. Love it. But he was a rapper, and he always had his friends coming in, like helping him produce music or like singing in a song, rapping in a song. And at one point, he had me and my older sister. I was like age 6, prime time. He had me go to his like studio, which is like literally the back room, and he told me I specifically remember this because I was playing a Hannah Montana game on my computer, and he was like, Erica, Soraya, come in. Soraya's my older sister, and so we went over there, and he's like, I need you to sing this part, sing it exactly like this, run away. And then I was like struggling because like I just really wanted to play that Hannah Montana game, but because of that recording, I fell in love with music, that it became like a comfort for me, and that comfort is what I really needed during the pandemic time, because I've always struggled with my mental health. Music really helped me through those hard times, and pandemic I feel like ruined everyone's mental health. Sorry. I feel like it ruined everyone's mental health. So for me, I really needed that comfort. And before, I had no idea how to produce electronic music, like through the computer. I only had my guitar, I only had my piano, ukulele, all that stuff. I only had acoustic instruments. But electronic music, that class gave me the necessary knowledge and the instruments, the tools. Yes, that's the word. Thank you. It gave me the tools to produce like a wider range of music, and I just found that trap music was my thing. So for obviously from Who Am I, it was just basically a vent song, making it, but it turned into something on its own, and I love that.
I want to hear more about your dad.
Okay, so my dad, music was also an escape for him, from what I saw. We had an incident when I was like younger, and music was just an easier way for him to like express himself. He had because it was like early, what time was it? It was like 2010s, early 2010s. Because it was early 2010s, he had that like old Usher sound. I don't know what type of instrument it was, but it's just so funny hearing about it now. I loved his older music. One of his friends, his best friends actually, he made a song that me and my sisters, like anytime we hear it, we tell our dad to leave it on, and he's like, fine. We told him to leave it on. Me and my sisters would sing it at the top of our lungs because we loved his music. And my dad, he's a pretty good rapper as well. Don't know why he stopped. I feel like he would have gone somewhere if he kept on going. Oh, but he did have a performance during the fair. I think it was the fair. I specifically remember the crowd, one of the girls in the crowd, one of the women, we were saying, "Oh my God, I love you!" And it was just like a core memory of mine now.
Right. And we're not sure if this is going to make it into the actual episode itself. But would you mind telling us your dad's rapping name?
His name was E. Aerolist.
E. Aerolist, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here.
I don't know how he came up with that name, but his name is Eric, so that's where the E comes from. So E. Erilis.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Search that up on YouTube, Google, Yahoo, whatever.
Would you be willing to make music with him?
I would. Oh, we actually did at one point. Don't know where that went. He had an old like song. It was like, again, early 2000 type beat, but he was thinking like, oh, this song is pretty good. Maybe I can give it to you. I was like, bet. He set up his because at first and foremost I'm a singer. So he set up his microphone, he set up his like, I don't know, his studio thing, and he's like, here you go. He gave me the mic, put me in my room. I was like, okay, cool. And that friend I was talking about earlier, my dad's best friend, it was actually his song at first. He made like he made the first verse, he made the chorus, and so my dad decided to keep his first verse. Decided to keep his chorus. I also sang the chorus, but I had to make the second verse because my dad lost the lyrics for the second verse. And then I also had to make the bridge. And I also had to sing the outro. I was basically doing like all the singing parts. But yeah, my dad and I did make a song together, even if it was many years in between.
So what did you end up doing after high school, and do you have any advice for us?
So after high school, I started going into college, but because like it's so like creatively restricting, it was hard for me to figure out what I wanted to do. Music helped me realize that obviously I'm way more creatively active than I am academically. So I'm gonna move over to Virginia soon. I'm gonna start cosmetology school there. I still play music. I still play music, sorry. I still play music. I still love producing my own, either through like an online studio or acoustically. My like the one advice I would give is that don't let your creativity die, because you gotta obviously here in high school it's hard to figure out what you want to do like that. You're expected to know immediately. Take your time. If you feel like academically you won't like flourish, look somewhere else. That's what I did, and I'm happy, a lot happier than I was in high school. Let me tell you that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you very much for your time, Erica. And with that, I believe we'll move on to our closing remarks. Ladies, gentlemen, and other distinguished members of the audience, I would like to personally thank you for listening to our new radio show, ValleyVibeZ. To close us out, we have a composition by SpartanSound producer AJ Aguilar, titled I Got You. This has been Daniel Montoya, signing off.
Don't give up on me, don't give up on us, cause you're the only one I talk to. I wanna last forever, wanna be together, wanna see you snuggled up in my sweater. I'll get you Margiela, Versace, whatever. You know I got cheddar, cause you make me smile and you make me better. It's gonna be a while till I find someone better. I don't wanna find someone better. She gonna stay if she wanna, but she gonna leave if you let her. Write you a song, I don't write no letters. Yeah. Write you a song, I don't write no letters. Yeah. Don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. You better hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. You better hold on. Hey, teeth white like my Air Force One. She like what she see, cause she always be telling me I'm the one that she need. I'm the only one she sees, that she's happy with me. Bet she's happier with me than the last man she's seen. Hey, you need somebody to lean on, girl, I got you. Don't give up on me, don't give up on us, cause you're the only one I talk to. I wanna last forever, wanna be together, wanna see you snuggled up in my sweater. I'll get you Margiela, Versace, whatever. You know I got cheddar, cause you make me smile and you make me better. It's gonna be a while till I find someone better. I don't wanna find someone better. She gonna stay if she wanna, but she gonna leave if you let her. Write you a song, I don't write no letters. Yeah. Write you a song, I don't write no letters. Yeah. Don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. You better hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. You better hold on.
This program was produced and brought to you by SpartanSound Productions. Special thanks to our host, guests, and featured artists, Daniel Montoya, Serenity Ratana, Edward Vera, Chris Jones, Matthew Alera Avina, Erica Rodriguez, AJ Aguilar, Alfonso Castro, Anthony Soto, Marco Alvarez, Eli Osuna, Andrew Salazar, Casey Soto, artist known as Ariel, and Soren Donates. Also, Dr. Thomas Tacky, creator and director of SpartanSound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School and the Central Union High School District, and to you, the listeners.